mask because the girl needs to be pretty, even though my face looks so different. It's crazy. I'm writing a script, and let's just wait for people to come in. Usually it takes. Hello, Damien. Oh, I have this stuff in my eye. Whoever made this mask made it for Chinese people. The eye socket is small. Anyway, if you have any topics or want to discuss the last video, I don't know if you watched it, you can do that. Hello, viewer number 2. Right. If you guys have any topics you want to talk about, of course. I do have a random question. I'm now here in Morocco. Oh, nice. I need to get fingerprinted for a background check as part of my residency card requirements. My question is where to go to get the fingerprints. You need to find the local police of wherever you're going to. Yeah, you just need to find the police. In French, it's not really police. Just look up police and in GPS wherever you are, and I'm sure you're gonna find it. Just give them the papers, and because when I was making my ID, that's where I got my fingerprints done at the police station. I don't like this stuff. I need to go get scissors. Give me a minute. You can watch my toys. Can you explain the different racial groups? I see some Moroccans call themselves Arabs, other North African, other Berbers, and they all look the same. Hmm, okay, no worries there. So some people are, we call them Arabs because they came with the Arabs during the Moroccan conquest or the African conquest as a whole, and they came and settled here. Most of them live in the deserts. Desert meaning, the deep south of Morocco, where they still lead a very old lifestyle. Some of them still live in tents. Their trade is usually concerns camels or, selling things such as tea. They can also be fishermen because we have the sea and the desert and stuff. And they mainly speak Arabic and they have their own accent. They have their own accent, dialect, and sometimes even language. Those are the people of the desert. We also call them Saharians. And they're very, very nice people. They're actually one of the nicest people in here. And their features are they have Arab features. Their faces are like pointy. They have sharp features, right? Long noses. Their hair is usually very good. I hope I'm back. I hope the internet is working. Anyway, their skin color is usually from my color darker. And however, they have really, really good hair. So they're not exactly black, they're just Arabs. And yeah, what else to say about them? Oh, right, and they don't tend to wear modern clothing. They prefer the old stuff, and the one that you wrap all over you, the one that covers the face. Not a burqa, but like a milha. I actually have one. Let me wear it and show you. Um, so it looks something like this, and it's very easy to wear. It's just this long piece of fabric that you wrap over you. It depends how you do it. Some people wrap it like this, some people wrap it like this. it doesn't matter. It's all the same, right? Then you take this part and, well, you cover entirely with it, and that's why they just look like they're a walking tent. Those are the people of the desert. And like I said, they're very nice, and we really, really like them. We do insult each other sometimes, like you stinky Arab, but it's really fine. We do that. They also call us stingy Amazirs, so it's fine. Then you have Arabs that are not black. They're wheatish. Their skin is like wheatish, but they're not exactly like white, right? These Arabs, some people say they came from Yemen. I don't know what happened in Yemen a long time ago, but they came here and they formed their own tribe and started living with the Moroccans, and they became Moroccan eventually. Of course, they got mixed with the Moroccans, the local Moroccans, and now you can't even tell the difference anymore. They all look the same. Then you have the Amazigh. And like we said last time, the Amazigh are the natives of North Africa. They're like, they didn't come from anywhere, like they were found here. And the Amazigh, notably, always lived in mountains, unlike the others who lived in, seasides or in the ocean, the desert. So those are called the Arab. Sorry, those are called the Amazigh. They're usually in the mountains. They're usually skinny. I don't know what is it. And they don't speak Arabic. They speak Tamazight. And Tamazight is divided to a lot of categories. One is Tamazight, one is Tarifit, one is Tashlahit, and it depends what region you're from. That's gonna determine what dialect you speak. I'm from the south. I speak Tashlahit, for example. And then what else is there? Well, there is the Tawariq. What was it in English? I don't know. But these people live in places like Tangiers, Tetouan, Shawan, like very close to Europe. These people are the Muslims that went to Spain, but then when the Christians in the church took control back of Spain, they came back and settled in those cities, which are the closest to modern day Spain. And that's why they're like the widest category in Morocco, because, well, they're racially mixed with Spanish people. If this thing is wet, and for some reason I keep losing breath. It's crazy. I don't know if I explained it right or not. There's also black people in Morocco. So me, for example, like there's people who have the same skin color of me or even darker, and a lot of people say that originally Moroccans were black, and some people deny this truth and say that that is not true at all, and that the original Moroccans are white. Now, I don't know who's correct and who's not. But in, let's say, a few hundred years ago, back when Morocco was also conducting slave trades, they used to bring a lot of black slaves to Morocco, and they used to recruit them in the army, as a matter of fact. And so they were known to be like king guards, cooks. They just did things around for rich people. Of course, slavery in Morocco had two forms, which is like one is you actually bought slaves from other places of Africa, in Africa, and also places in Europe. And just like you were a slave that worked, you were actually a slave also in the bedroom. So that also can explain why there are so many different races, because people got really, really mixed throughout history. And the second type of slavery, even though I wouldn't call it that, is when like a poor family goes to a rich family. They're like, hey, we really have nothing to eat. We don't have a place to stay. Can we stay with you? And in turn, we'll work for you. And of course, if you lived in a huge mansion, you have all the room to house another family and their kids. But in turn, they also did things for you around the house free of charge because they were living and eating. This thing is suffocating. Does Morocco have a digital nomad visa? I don't know what that is. What's the average cost of living in a major city like Casablanca? I would say $1,000 a month would do. Because a lot of people now earning $500, earning, let's see, $300. It's not really cutting it anymore. Like, life, life is getting expensive. So the more money you have, the better in big cities. But in smaller cities, it's fine. So you consider yourself black or your both parents black? So everybody on my father's side is black. And my mom is half black, but she's white. She got the white gene, basically, because my grandmother is white and my grandfather is not white from my mom's side. And so my mom got the white gene, gave it to a couple of my siblings as well, and me and my brother are black. I'm kind of mixed. I didn't get anybody's color, but still, you can tell I'm not white. And do I consider myself black? Yes, of course, I consider myself black. And my white siblings don't consider themselves white either. But it does open like the floodgates of racism between us and always joking about each other's unwhite roots and stuff. But again, it's all fun and games. Nobody's getting hurt. I should start working with the Ministry of Tourism. I say this all the time, but it's true. Look at all the good I'm doing. My mask is starting to dry. Okay, so my next video is going to be about the Jews again. A lot of people told me, do not talk about the Jews. You're not very nice about them. Was I nice about them in my last video? I think I was. I really censored myself. Because I've been here in Morocco, it seems like all the black people I've seen are from other African countries. I haven't seen much in between, such as yourself. Yeah, just like I mentioned in my video about Afrocentrism, there has been a lot of people, a lot of other Africans coming into Morocco, and they usually come in like buses, which is a little scary, because they're all men usually, and like it's rare when you find a woman. And sometimes it doesn't feel safe. What a privileged thing to say, but come on. And yeah, a lot of them are coming from other countries to work in Morocco so they can send money back to their families. However, like Morocco is not really nice to them, sadly, but what are you gonna do? I think Morocco can be nicer, but the only way you can be nice to somebody in Morocco is by not actually bringing them here. And a lot of them like save a bunch of money and then they go travel to Europe. Illegally, of course. And that's why like places like Italy are complaining right now, saying, hey, where are all these African illegals are coming? Well, they're coming from Morocco and other neighboring countries. Let's see. For example, in my town, like I'm a townie, I live in a small place. The rate of black people is like in each block. In a block is like, let's see, even 10 houses, right? You find one black family. Like that's the rate. There's not that many. 1 in 10. Well, 1 in 10 families, but how many individuals are actually black? Because like I said, in mixed families, not all the family members get the black gene. Only a few do. That's why our family pictures always look like chess boards, half white, half black. Is my skin glowing? Not really. Did I just waste money on this? I have. Do I feel bad about it? I don't. So were you looking for black people in Morocco? Because also, there's more black people in the south than there is in other places. So keep that in mind. If it's expensive, girl. How's the weather in Casablanca? I would say it's cold, but so is everywhere else in Morocco right now. It's a little chilly. But it's not like chilly where you need an AC or anything. It's like chilly when you need 2 blankets and then you're good. You haven't left your Airbnb because it's cold. You're gonna need a coat for sure, especially in the morning and late at night. The afternoons are fine. You can walk with a t-shirt. Yeah, how's your Airbnb? Is it nice? And how much is it costing you per day? Oh, you got tricked. You're gonna need a coat at least. Okay, that's nice. It's actually not that bad. That's the price of a decent room. Okay. Very nice. Hello, viewer number 2. Don't forget to drop likes. Likes make things spread. And more people will come over. We'll actually have something to talk about. I'll probably stay here until I can complete all my immigration paperwork, and then I'll get my own apartment. I mean, you should take time. You should take this time and start looking for one too. So you don't have to come back another time and then have to look. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna take that much time. I don't think there is anything that would take a lot of time. But again, I don't know any people in real life that have moved to Morocco. And even if they did, who wants to talk about paperwork? Is Casablanca worth it though? A lot of people say that it's not that pretty. The biggest shock about Casablanca so far is how expensive food delivery is. Global prices are almost the same as the United States. My work will take longer because I need to have documents. Oh, okay. That is not good. You can use the DHL. It's like very fast. I've never used Glovo, to be honest. No. 500 a month. I imagine it would be much cheaper than that. No, not really. It's an Airbnb, and depending how nice you want it to be, of course, it's gonna be more expensive. Morocco is not a cheap country anymore. It's really not. It's getting way more expensive with the inflation, the globalists messing with the world. They're using our tax money to make another COVID, so why would it be cheap? $500 is cheap for Airbnb. Trust me, I looked. The prices are inflated. Are there any alternatives to Airbnb that locals use? A lot of locals use Airbnb, to be honest, but there's one called. There's two. I can't type because I'm the host. Let's see. I messed it up. Okay, let me try see if there's like. It's not coming on. I can't type. Nope. I'm gonna have to spell it. It's called. What is it called? Oh, Avito. It's Avito. I don't know if they have English in the settings though. But again, Avito. You find everything in there. Jobs. I used to look for jobs in it. And apartments, rentals, everything. Or mobile web, which is even longer. I need to write that down to spell it. Okay, so it's oh shit. Give me a minute. It's MUB mobile web. Okay, it's MUBAWAB. No, it's AVI. Okay, let me just write it down. Mobile web. I can turn the camera, right? The first one is mobile web. The second one is Avito. We read everything in French here. But if you go in, this one has like a lot of apartments in houses for sale actually, but I'm sure there's also for rent. This one has everything, so you need to look by category, and you can also find cars for rent if you're wanting a car. Well, the only cheaper option that I found is staying in a hostel, but you'll only find them in Marrakesh. All the hotels on Western booking websites are asking for more than $30 a night, right? Yeah, they're jerks. Okay, let me know if you guys noted this down so I can put my phone down. Okay, I'm just gonna put the phone down anyway. I have a heavy ass phone. Hello, person number 3. Hello, person number 4. Drop a like before you go, because they usually go. No problem. Food services in Morocco, eh? We have Glovo. What else we have? I don't know. I'm not from a city, so I don't really know much. I'm just a humble townie. So any more questions? I usually stop my lives after an hour because it's too much talking for one person to do. And it's too bad as well, like you can't really like host people and like have like a video chat type of conversation. It's usually easier. Morocco is definitely a country where you'll need to wait until your boots on the ground to get a lot of stuff done. Yep, it's true. We're really bad at keeping promises too. So like you'll let's see. You'll tell somebody, I need you to keep this apartment for me. I'm coming on this day. And because you're not there at that very moment, they're gonna rent it to somebody else. So you get a hotel for like first 2 days and then look. And we're also late on dates on promises usually. There's always somebody that has to wait for the other one. So that's why when me and my friend are going out, like she either comes to my house or I go to her house. But to meet somewhere, yeah, somebody's gonna be late. Did you guys celebrate for New Year's New Year or not? Yeah, it's good to sleep. I woke up today at like 5 p.m. I'm a night person, and if I'm awake during the day, I get nothing done. Well, I do a lot of chores around the house, but that means nothing for my matchmaking or nothing for my YouTube. So I just stay up all night. Colonialism. Oof, that's really, really early. Really early. Yeah, it comes with not having a job, you know? It's not a good thing, but again, who am I competing with exactly? Nobody. Especially most of my friends aren't actually working, so it doesn't really like create a sense of competition at all. And okay, let's say that you have friends that are working, they have a car, they have nice stuff. And yeah, I would feel like maybe I do want a job to like be on the same level with them. Because if you're not, then you're just the friends that get all the what's the word? The handouts. If they don't want something anymore, they give it to you because you can't afford anything better. But if you're on the same level as them, you don't feel that your self worth is diminished that much. That's the only reason I would like actively go work. I'm very susceptible to peer pressure, sadly. Things always stuck. Do you guys activate the bell on my YouTube channel? Like, how come it's always the same people that are on my live stream? Even though a lot of people say that they want to join it, but I think they don't get the notification or something. I'm not sure. This is I'm married. um, I'm in a very complicated situation that I don't want to talk about. Let's just keep it at that. And if I was married, I would probably not be working either. Like, it's fine to do like a side hustle occasionally if I needed like some like huge expense done. Let's say plastic surgery as an example. Then yeah, I would prefer if it's something I paid for, and that would mean working. But for day to day expenses, that's his job. What am I gonna have for dinner today? I've been eating rice for like 2 weeks nonstop. We have food, but I just want rice. I don't know what is it. Maybe it's like my attempt to cut down on bread, but again, it's all carbs anyway. A lot of Moroccan men don't have a problem with their wives working, but what happens is they end up building a life together, and all the material assets are usually under the husband's name. So let's say they get divorced, uh, the woman gets nothing that she worked for her entire life, so she has to start from zero. And it's not nice. So it's better if women here did not work because the men just end up taking everything. I notice a lot of Moroccan women are still single, unmarried, without children into their 30s, still living with their parents. My question is, do Moroccan women get anxious? Hmm, I guess, yeah. They do get anxious about getting married and having kids on time and stuff like that. Also, like, there's a huge pressure, um, like peer pressure on getting married and having kids. And you can like get married and get divorced, but as long as you've been married, like that compensates for. It's better than being single. And so they do get anxious, yeah, but it doesn't change much. Yes, they feel the same. They have the same feeling. It's really problematic to have kids at this age. Like, you would hope that the world is still holding on to its old values, but it's really not. And it's both men and the women. It's getting worse. Well, your family can't really do anything about nobody proposing to you, right? So I say, well, for example, it's me. Like, I graduated, I have my bachelor's, and occasionally I'm gonna hear certain, how come you haven't applied to teaching yet? It's like, who wants to be a teacher? And we get into that conversation, but it's not really like go get a job or you're kicked out of the house. That type of conversation is usually reserved for boys, but they don't get kicked out either. Like, it's just important for you to start, accumulating wealth. Coming to Morocco in a couple of months is appropriate to cold approach. To what? I mean, do you get a coat? I don't know what you mean. I don't. You have to elaborate on that one. When you don't get married early, you feel like you're not good enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not a woman enough, And you feel like the others are better than you. And that you're liking somewhere. And that pressure doesn't have to come from anybody else. It just comes from inside of you. Because, hey, I'm also pretty. I'm also smart. I'm also this. So how come nobody chose me yet? You get that type of like inner monologue. It means approach women. Um. Okay. I see. Uh. Sure. I guess. No problem. Hmm. But it's important to smile. Okay, just smile. If they smile back, you're good. If they don't look at you or don't smile at you, I don't know. I wouldn't go for that. But again, I'm not a dude, so I can't really say anything. But you can always try dating websites, or like go into a restaurant with or a cafe with a lot of pretty girls and strike a conversation there. It's usually less creepier than in the street. So that's called cold approach. Nice. Anybody else have a cold? Swear everybody's sick. I don't like the way Moroccan men do it. Like, they will follow you to the end of hell to get your phone number, which is really, really creepy. I don't appreciate that. Um, but a nice way, like I said, would be to be in a cafe, just having coffee or tea, and strike a conversation with somebody from there, like somebody else who's in the cafe or wherever you are, like some social setting where there are a lot of people, where you're supposed to meet people like that. It's less, I don't know. It's like people went there with the intention of getting to know people, right? But if you're in the street, you can be in the street for any reason, and sometimes you don't even want anybody to talk to you. And yeah, try to find social events, bars, cafes, Or even like the beach. Like the beach is always a good place to meet people. A lot of people in the beach go to meet people. So if you're just like strolling, walking, and see somebody you like, say like hi, introduce yourself, be brief, let them talk to, see if they're interested. If they're not, like read their body language, and if they're like cold or not interested, you just leave. A Moroccan man, though, he would spot you from a distance and then start walking towards you, either following you behind while whispering or making noises that are, the noises that people use to attract cats or dogs. That's what they try to do to get a woman's attention, which is even more annoying. Or sometimes they would start walking in front of you and turning and smiling at you. It's creepy. It's creepy as hell. And even though you show complete disinterest, they will still follow you wherever you go without talking to you. And if you dare sit down, they will be on you like a fly. And I don't like that. What's the typical timeline for meeting a Moroccan woman? To when to expect a man to marry her? I feel like, yeah. Well, any timeline is reasonable here. Like 1 month, 6 months, a year, you can get married uh, in this within that timeline. It's really fine. But sooner the better. But again, you do need to get to know the person. Except that if they're like really, really good looking and you want to snatch them very quickly off the market, sure. But it's always reasonable to get to know people, know their flaws and ins and outs before you get too invested. Do people still get married in the US? It is possible. It's not that it's not, it is. Um, it's just that the family is not gonna know that she's doing it, so there's gonna be like a lot of secrecy during that time. Somebody else will propose to her, and she could marry them. Uh, do you know that saying, "Don't let your boyfriend keep you from your husband" type of thing? Like, especially if it's somebody like a bit older, let's say, I don't know, 27 up, and she wants to get married, she's ready, but then there's a boyfriend who just wants to date, and somebody proposes. Of course she's gonna get married. She doesn't introduce you to her parents or family. What do you mean? You can only be introduced to them as a person who's going to propose. And if you haven't, you will not be introduced. Some could, like some families are like really open, but those are like rare. We still like look at them with like, what are you doing? That's not right. That's not the norm. That's not the custom. And they're like the strange ones. They exist, but not all of them. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to leave in 9 minutes. It's almost 1 hour. It's also easier for the people that want to watch the live stream. Um, yeah, they don't have to watch like 5 hours of content. It's fine. So that's why I only keep it to an hour. Well, it depends where you want to take her. If you guys are going on a trip together, going on a shopping day, or going to a really fancy restaurant, or just going to the regular. Don't go to McDonald's. We're boycotting. Okay, going to a local restaurant that serves burgers or something. So it depends. I would say you should have at least 500 dirhams in your pocket. But of course, at least, because you never know, you might run into unexpected expenses and stuff like that. Oh, that's some do here as well. Mm, some do here as well. How often do they go for date? Well, dating is like a lifestyle here. Do you know how clubbing is a lifestyle? Some people date as a lifestyle. But some people, again, they date because they're looking for somebody serious. Mm, some don't even date. They just want to get married. Date after getting married. That's a thing here. And you just have to know who you're dealing with. You're gonna have to ask some serious questions. And talk. Try talk. And find out. But also, you're gonna have to be like clear about your intentions, because for a girl, she doesn't really know if somebody's like serious about getting married or not, or just wants a vacation girlfriend. That's why. Uh, let's say you are on a website, you have to really be very specific in your description on what you're looking for and what you want, what do you expect, things like that. So be like, I'm dating for to find my future wife or the mom of my kids, something like that. That would show that you're serious. So when the girl does, try to be with you, she knows in the back of her head that this is somebody serious that I could have a chance with. I might as well also put my act together. But yeah, again, in here, like a boyfriend is always just a boyfriend, and it's really hard to. It's not the same pedestal as a husband. And also, dating is like a sin, right? So, cheating, lying, using them for money or for meals is just another sin you're adding to the bucket list, you know? So, it doesn't really get. Hello, is this working? Why does it say 28 minutes? Jeez. Hello? Can you hear me? Is this working? Okay, I know what happened. Did you hear my answer though? Or do I have to say it again? What's with my eyebrows? So red. Weird. I tend to sleep on my face. Wake up with all sorts of bruises. Oh, I heard your answer. Thanks a lot. Okay, no problem. I think it's time to go. I'm sure this live stream has been a full hour, but since it was reconnecting, for some reason it says 29 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna end it here. Leave any questions until last time, and thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it so much. And I'll see you again in the next live stream. Bye bye.